Alright guys, so we do have a huge video for today. There's plenty of updates for this video. If you guys are Barcelona fans and you guys want to follow exactly what has been going on with the Barcelona news and this summer transfer window, because there has been a lot going on, please subscribe to the channel. Also like this video if you do want to support me. I would really appreciate it. So again, there's plenty to discuss. We're going to be talking about Gundogan's exit, then speak about Chiesa, also Dani Olmo, and just look at the overall project that Joan Laporta and Deco have been building in the past 2 to 3 weeks. So it is official. Manchester City have brought back Gundogan. It is a done deal. Barcelona have released so many wages off their books, and very shortly, within these next 3 to 4 days, they will be announcing 1 to 2 more signings. Gundogan has signed a 1-year contract plus a 1 optional year with Pep Guardiola. It has been said that he did supposedly write off 2 years of his contract at Barcelona, meaning that Barcelona are not going to be paying him what he was supposed to be owed in the last 2 years. And the reason why his contract was going to end in the summer of 2026 is because he played more and over 60% of the games of last season. Now, there has been this agenda within the way that they have wrote this. They have said Barcelona owed Gundogan his salary and what he was supposed to get paid in the last 2 seasons. Now, here's the thing. 2 things did happen here. Point number 1, there has been a mutual agreement, and it states if both the player and the club agree to terminate the contract early, which is what Gundogan and Barcelona did, they can negotiate the terms of the termination. The club might agree to pay a portion of the remaining salary if they want, or they might agree on a different compensation package. In this case, the player wouldn't automatically receive the full salary for the remaining 2 years unless that is what they negotiated. So it's not like Barcelona are saying we are not going to be paying Gundogan any money for the last 2 seasons and Gundogan wanted the money from the last 2 seasons. No, that is just how contracts do work. If you don't play for the last 2 seasons or the last 3 seasons or the last 4 seasons, the club does not have to pay you, especially if the player decides to leave the club. Point number 2, if there is a transfer to another club, if the player is transferred to another club, the original club usually receives a transfer fee from the buying club. The player then signs a new contract with the new club, and the original club is no longer obligated to pay the remaining salary under the old contract. The transfer fee might compensate the original club, Barcelona, for the value of the remaining contract period. So once again, it did seem like Gundogan was the victim and that Barcelona was the enemy. That is what the media wants to paint. But this is very normal to see that a club does not pay their player only because they left early. If a player does leave early within their contract, it is normal for the club to not pay for the remaining years. So now that Barcelona do have this huge financial boost, now let's talk about Chiesa, because it says here, according to Sky Sports, that Chiesa is becoming more open to the possibility of joining Barcelona, who are preparing to make their first offer. It's a concrete idea from the player side. Juventus want 15 to 20 million euros. Now, it has also been stated, according to other reports, that the max that Barcelona could pay for Chiesa is going to be 15 million euros, and again, no more. That is what the agent did say to some sources. It's going to be a very cheap deal. It has also been claimed by Gigantes FC that Chiesa is the most viable option right now to strengthen Barcelona's attack. Relevo has also claimed Chiesa has emerged as a strong candidate to reinforce Barcelona's attack. He is the most favorable of all low-cost alternatives after the inability to sign more preferred players, aka Nico Williams. Barcelona have not made any offer yet, but they are in position to do so. Barcelona's intention is to not pay no more than 15 million euros. The player's current salary at Juventus is around 5 million euros net, and he sees joining Barcelona with good eyes. And so let me tell you, if Barcelona end up paying Chiesa 5 million euros, maybe even less, and we sign him for a fee of 15 million euros max, that is going to be one hell of a deal. From a financial standpoint for Barcelona, this is very responsible and a good move overall, because if Chiesa can perform at least 80 to 90% of what he used to be back in 2020 and 2021, we're getting one hell of a player, and a player that does have the capability to start in the front 3 or in the attacking 4. Now we are going to be getting a little economical here and speak about why Juventus are okay with letting Chiesa go for such a cheap deal. So Chiesa has been with Juventus for 4 seasons, but in the past few years he has been sidelined by the club, and he's certainly not central to Thiago Motta's plans, and that is the reason why he was not really even in the starting 11 nor in the squad, I believe, against Como. And the club does want to sell him for some funds and gain future signings, whether it's in this summer or in the next summer. So Juventus do not really see him as an important player. Teams like Roma were interested, and even AC Milan wanted to sign him, but ever since Barcelona came in, Chiesa automatically eyed his move to Barcelona. Juventus did sign Chiesa for 45 million euros a few years ago from Fiorentina, and because they have signed him for 45 million euros 4 years ago, as of June 2024, Chiesa's value at Juventus books has decreased to about 11.9 11.9 million euros. And it's pretty simple. When you buy him for 45 million euros and you divide those 45 million euros to 4 seasons or 4 years, right? Every year they were paying 11.9 million euros or 11.2. And because those 4 years are now away, his value is only at 11.9. And that is why Juventus are okay with selling the player for around 15 to 20 million euros. Because on Juventus books, it would be a net profit. If they were to, for example, sell him for about 20 million euros, knowing that his value now is 11.9 in his contract, Juventus could net a profit of around 8.9 million euros. Also, they would save around 21.1 million euros on his salary and contract cost for the 2024-2025 season. So it would be a huge positive impact for Juventus, and that is why they are okay. So a few things that I was also thinking about. If he were to want to stay at Juventus, he would need to negotiate a pay cut in order for him to have a longer deal at Juventus. But I just don't think that Juventus would want to, because him leaving would really benefit their financial books. So for sure he is going to be leaving. Even if it's not going to be Barcelona, Chiesa will leave. And it says here, according to Sport, that Chiesa would be willing to reduce his salary to 4.5 million euros net per season as long as Barcelona guarantee him a contract for the next 3 seasons. So he currently does earn a very low wage already, and for him to only receive 4.5 million euros a season, once again, it is a great move coming from Barcelona. And I think that if Chiesa is asking for a lower salary just to move to Barcelona, I think that he is coming to this club only to gain more sportingly, because he wants to win, he wants trophies, he's hungry, and that is always a great sign. And so looking at the big picture of this whole thing, right, signing Chiesa for a low amount and signing Dani Olmo for 65 million euros instead of paying 80 million euros, which they could have, right, because of Leipzig's expired release clause. The fact that Barcelona are doing great moves right now in the summer of 2024, this is what's going to allow us to go into the summer of 2025 and sign big players with ease, because there is no reason, my friends, for us to sign whoever we want this summer, and whoever that may be, it does hinder us to sign other big players for the next summer. There is no reason to do that. Like, for example, that is what Bartomeu's Barcelona was 6-7 years ago. We signed Griezmann, Dembele, Coutinho, right? They were big time players. We're like, oh my god, but there was no reason for us to sign these players. No point to sign these players if it meant that in the next summer and the next summer after that, Barcelona couldn't sign anybody. We gave no breathing room towards our future. What Joan Laporta and Deco are doing today is we're going to be trying to strengthen our sporting project, and at the same time make sure that in the next summer, that summer does not get hindered. We want to be able to breathe. We want to be able to sign bigger, big time players, and of course continue to up our margin in the wage bill. So this whole low risk, low cost transfers is going to give sporting and financial stability. Like, really think about it, right? It's just the fact that we are releasing Gundogan, who is 34 years old, and in exchange we get 2 players, which is Chiesa and Olmo. I do see that as a win. I would understand the frustration coming from the Barcelona fans if we released Gundogan at the age of 34 years old, and in exchange we only get 1 player, and that 1 player was Coman, who is 28 years old. He's injury prone, he's not really that good. I would understand the frustration there. That would not make any sense. But for us to release Gundogan at the age of 34 years old in exchange for a player who is Chiesa, who is 25 or 27 years old, and Olmo, who is 26 years old, players who still want to win in the world of football, that is a great exchange. And so to me, this is good business. Barcelona might end up signing the best Euro 2021 player and the best Euro 2024 player in one transfer window. Dani Olmo was the best player in Euro 2024. Chiesa was the best player in Euro 2021, and both of those players are going to be at Barcelona. It's just crazy. Now, another thing that I do want to clear off is the fact that many have said Ansu Fati is going to get no minutes, and I have explained this before, but I know that new people always do come in. But let me explain. Ansu Fati and Chiesa are different profiles and different type of players. Chiesa has more explosiveness and the ability to beat his opponent on the wings. I have always said that I do see Ansu Fati as a much more of a center forward, or somebody who can play behind a 9, right, within a 4-4-2 formation. He is a player who runs into space and likes to receive the ball inside the box. Ansu Fati, without his explosiveness, because we know that he lost his explosiveness, is a player that I cannot really rely on the wings. Chiesa is a whole other different conversation. Chiesa is a 1v1 beater, somebody who has explosiveness, somebody who runs, somebody who presses. It's a whole different role on the wings, and Ansu Fati cannot really bring that right now. So bringing in Chiesa, it's a great move, and it's for sure going to help Hansi Flick's starting 11. It's very exciting. He's a relentless runner. He's two-footed when it comes to ball striking. He's very direct, which is what Hansi Flick does want, and a solid 1v1 killer. I know that many have been scared about Chiesa coming to Barcelona because he might be an injury prone. I don't think so. Yes, he did have a very serious ACL tear a few years ago, but that was basically it. Like, he's not in the same injury prone area of like Coman or Pedri. He's not like that. He never really suffered an injury since that day that required for him to be out for more than 30 40 days. So I think that he will be fine. And especially when he gets to training under Hansi. Hansi is known to be a coach that turns players into monsters, physical monsters. And so I could see an 11 that does have Chiesa on the left wing position, Olmo as a central attacking midfielder. And on the right wing, we have Lamine Yamal with our center forward being Lewandowski. There is going to be a video that is going to be posted very soon within these next couple of days about what our starting 11 will look like now with Olmo and Chiesa in the picture. Stay tuned for that. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.